The killer whales or orcas are social and very intelligent animals, but they're also the ocean's top predators. At World of Orca, Sito has been the main star for 20 years. One day, two employees are finishing their shift and discussing how Sito hasn't been the same since she lost her baby. The official story is that the baby died, but the employees suspect that the company took it and Sito knows it. Before closing, one of the women goes to check on Sito, but the orca won't come when she calls. The employee gets in the pool to take a better look and is startled by something moving behind her. Sito begins swimming around her until she suddenly attacks her. Meanwhile, Mattie is working at a restaurant when she's startled by a voice. It's her boyfriend Chad, who just graduated. Mattie asks him if their friend Trish is mad with her for working instead of attending the ceremony, but Chad says he covered for her. Since Mattie's graduation is next week, Chad brought her a little gift. It's a necklace with a cello charm because that's the instrument Mattie plays. Chad puts it around her neck and they both lean in for a kiss. Suddenly a robber enters the restaurant and points his gun at them. He makes the couple drop their phones and pushes Chad away before asking Mattie to open the register. After she gives him all the money, the robber asks for her necklace too. Mattie struggles to take it off and Chad uses the chance to jump on the man, trying to get the gun. Unfortunately, the thief overpowers Chad and starts beating him up with his weapon. Mattie joins the struggle and grabs the tip of the gun at the same time the men do. After lots of pulling, the gun is accidentally shot near Mattie's head, leaving her with a ringing noise in her ears. The men keep on fighting for the gun and Chad manages to gain control of it, shooting the robber to bring him down. The guy grabs the money and immediately runs away, escaping in his truck. Chad rushes outside and finds the necklace on the ground, so he gives it back to Mattie. At that moment the robber returns to hit Chad with his truck, instantly killing him. A year later, Mattie is still a waitress and has to wear a hearing aid because her ears were permanently damaged. Her friend Trish comes to see and scolds her for never answering her phone, revealing they haven't seen each other since the incident. They've always talked about going on a trip together, so Trish has already organized and paid for everything to go now. They start packing and Mattie gets sad when she finds pictures of Chad, which makes her go down memory lane. Trish tries to comfort her, but at that moment she notices that the cello is covered in dust and has a broken pin. Mattie admits she hasn't played in a while but refuses to elaborate. A few hours later, the duo arrives in Thailand. They relax in the pool with some drinks and take pictures with Trish's new waterproof phone for her social media. Then they go to the beach, where Trish flirts with a guy named Josh who works at the tourist information booth. There's a woman selling souvenirs and the duo buys some cute wooden whales. Trish knows that Chad and Mattie always talked about the famous Sito, so she reveals she has tickets for the Orca show. However, Mattie is offended and walks away. Trish follows and asks what the issue is. Mattie explains that she doesn't like seeing animals in captivity and refuses to support World of Orca. She and Chad always talked about Sito because her baby died in a tank of pneumonia, but they never trusted the official story. Their dream has always been to watch orcas but in the wild. Trish apologizes for the misunderstanding and they agree to do other activities. The girls go to the information booth and Josh gives them a few ideas. Mattie notices the World of Orca brochures and Josh tells her that he hates that place because the animals should be free. He thinks the orca baby was taken away and that's how Sito got a scar across her face. After tearing the brochure apart, Josh invites them to a party. In the evening, the girls have lots of fun at the party, dancing for hours and drinking until they are drunk. Josh surprises them by showing a broken plank on the World of Orca fence, which means they could sneak inside. Mattie hesitates but Trish points out they're not giving the evil company any money. The trio sneaks into the park and carefully avoids the guard until they find the entrance to the pool. Mattie goes in alone while Trish and Josh stay behind to make out. Soon Mattie reaches the side of the pool and hears a strange noise in her hearing aid. When it finally stops, Sito appears in front of her. Mattie puts her hand up and apologizes for what humans did to her. At the same time, the janitor is picking up garbage on the surface. When Sito hears a splash, she immediately swims away. Mattie thinks her friends made the noise and checks on them, but they're still getting busy by the entrance. Then Mattie looks at the pool again and is shocked to discover the janitor's dead body, so she screams and runs away. The security guard also sees the body in the water and starts searching the area until he finds the three friends. The trio immediately starts running and the guard chases after them. Mattie's bag gets stuck on the fence, but she pulls until she frees it and the group manages to escape. The guard then calls his boss to inform him that there's been another death in Sito's tank, so the boss tells him to get rid of her. The next morning, Mattie wakes up on the beach and Josh and Trish have a surprise for her. They go on a jet ski ride and enjoy sailing through the sea at high speed. Eventually they reach a deserted island and Mattie is impressed by the fantastic view. She wonders why people don't come here, so Josh explains that something happened many years ago and now the locals think the place is cursed. He notices that Trish spends too much time on her phone, so Mattie has to explain to him what an influencer is. Josh takes Trish's phone and puts it away in the jet ski, telling her to enjoy the island instead of the screen. Mattie has also brought her phone, so Trish hides it from Josh. Afterward, Mattie relaxes on a floaty while the couple rides the jet ski. As Trish tries to take pictures with Mattie's phone, she keeps holding on to Josh's head and covering his eyes. The jet ski suddenly bumps into something, causing them to fall into the water. While Mattie's phone floats away, Trish swims to get on the floaty too. Confused by what happened, Josh swims back to the jet ski to check if it broke down. Suddenly an orca tail hits the vehicle, causing it to sink and Josh to fall again. The girls desperately tell him to get on the floaty, but the orca brings him underwater. Josh struggles for a while before he manages to surface and starts swimming toward the floaty. He grabs Trish's hand, only for the orca to bring him down again. Mattie and Trish are horrified to see blood in the water, realizing that Josh is dead. Desperate to escape, the girls start rowing with their hands to hopefully return to land. However, they pull their arms back when the orca swims under them and sprays blood all over them. After the initial shock, the duo rows as fast as possible and manages to reach a rock. Unfortunately, before they can get on it, the orca starts pulling the floaty's rope to drag them back. Eventually it lets go and swims away, so Mattie takes the rope out of the water. When the orca returns, Mattie sees its bent fin and realizes it's Sito. She swims too close to the floaty but doesn't do anything and leaves again. When Mattie's hearing aid starts making the weird noise, Sito shows her face and makes a sound at them before going back underwater. The girls scream when Sito swims under them, but nothing happens this time either. Mattie realizes their only chance to escape is by swimming. Sito is coming closer, so they need to hurry. Trish jumps into the water, but when Mattie is about to join her, she freezes because her aid is making the noise again. She ends up falling into the water and the pouch with her aid's extra battery slips out of her pocket to float away. Mattie can't go after it because Sito is too close, so she gets back on the floaty instead. Trish keeps on swimming and manages to climb a rock right before Sito reaches her. Then Mattie apologizes for leaving her behind and throws her bag, which Trish has to retrieve from the water. Suddenly Sito starts pulling the rope again, and this time it removes the plug, so the floaty begins to lose its air. Mattie jumps into the water and swims as fast as possible until she makes it to the rock. Trish helps her climb, and in the process Mattie steps on an oyster, which injures her foot. Sito jumps out and tries to bite her, but the girls move away just in time. The friends hug in relief, only for Trish to discover she's injured her thigh on the rock. Mattie takes off her jacket and they use a small rock to cut off the sleeves, which they painfully wrap around their wounds. Then they discuss Sito, wondering why she's free. Mattie points out that orcas don't attack humans in the wild and only do it in captivity, which means Sito thinks she's still trapped. Since the jet ski has sunk, the girls search the bag for anything useful and find gum, which is their only meal for now. There's also an empty sandwich bag, so Trish blows it up and holds it up, explaining that if they let it swelter in the sun it'll eventually gather water. The process will take 4 to 6 hours. Then the duo starts yelling for help, but nobody can hear them, so they decide to save their energy. A few hours later, Trish sees a boat in the distance. The girls immediately start screaming and waving again, but the boat doesn't see them and goes away. Being trapped on this rock makes Mattie understand how Sito felt in the pool. Suddenly Sito swims by and Mattie's hearing aid makes the noise again. When they look down, they see Josh's severed arm, which has a flashlight tied to its wrist. Mattie tries to use her bag to reach it and almost falls, but Trish catches her. Then Trish holds Mattie's legs so she can lean over the rock and get the flashlight from the arm. That night they flash the light to try to get help, to no avail. The next morning their skin is all red from the sun. The bag finally has some water, so they share the few drops. After some hesitation, Trish asks Mattie why she stopped playing the cello, so Mattie explains she couldn't do it anymore after Chad's death. Trish thinks it's not too late for her friend to go back to school and promises to always be there for her, so they hold hands to comfort each other. Feeling hungry, the duo decides to try to eat the oyster. Trish holds Mattie's legs as she goes underwater, but no matter how hard she pulls, the oyster won't come off. Suddenly Sito swims nearby, startling Mattie so badly that she falls into the water. She uses the chance to finally grab the oyster and climbs back on the rock with Trish's help, avoiding Sito at the last second. Afterward, Trish tries using a rock to break the oyster, to no avail. Mattie takes Chad's cremation stone box from her bag and gives the lid to Trish, who finally manages to open the oyster. Each of them eats half and it tastes awful, but they force themselves to swallow it for the sake of nutrients. Mattie stares at Chad's cremation stone and decides it's time to finally let go. She shares some final words of love and kisses the stone before throwing it into the water. Trish apologizes for getting them stuck in this situation and swears she was only trying to help. Mattie assures her that it's not her fault, but Trish says she isn't a good friend and reveals the truth. A year ago she had a lot of debt, so she and a coworker made a plan to get some money. That coworker had been the robber. Chad had told Trish that Mattie was at home practicing with her cello, so she wasn't supposed to be at the restaurant. The robber wasn't supposed to have a gun either, so he broke the rules of their deal. The overwhelming guilt is why Trish didn't try to visit Mattie for the past year. She tries to apologize now, but Mattie snaps at her and doesn't let her touch her, saying she deserves all the guilt she's feeling. Since Trish keeps saying how sorry she is, Mattie takes off her hearing aid not to hear her. Mattie falls asleep and dreams of Chad's death, followed by herself playing the cello underwater. When she wakes up, Trish tries to check on her, but Mattie still refuses to talk. Determined to make things right, Trish comes up with a plan. She'll swim to the sand because it's the furthest point, and Mattie will swim to the nearest rock. Hopefully this will confuse Sito and she won't attack. Then Trish very carefully gets in the water and swims slowly to avoid making noise. However, Mattie doesn't follow her because she didn't hear the plan without the aid on. When she finally realizes her friend is in the water, she puts the aid back on and starts yelling to tell her to come back, but Trish refuses. The noise attracts Sito, so Trish starts swimming as fast as possible. Sito chases after Trish and Mattie is desperate to help, so she jumps into the water too. Her splash causes Sito to go after her instead, but Mattie quickly makes her way to the other rock. She climbs on top of it right before Sito tries to bite her. The distraction works because Trish makes it to the sand safely. At that moment a plane flies above them and the girls start yelling. Trish also writes SOS on the sand, but the plane doesn't see them and flies away. A frustrated Trish keeps yelling as she steps back, not noticing she's too close to the water. Sito quickly jumps out and bites her legs to bring her into the sea. Mattie thinks she's lost her friend, but soon Trish crawls back on the shore with a missing leg. Her blood fills the letters as she dies on the sand and Mattie has a breakdown. That night Mattie turns on the flashlight again, but sadly its battery runs out. Soon Mattie's hearing aid also stops working, and the silence combined with the darkness makes everything extra creepy. Suddenly it starts raining, and Mattie laughs as she opens her mouth to drink. Suddenly Sito peeks out of the water and Mattie stares at her scar, realizing that at least the orca tried to fight to be free. Inspired by this, Mattie gets in the water and swims as fast as she can until she reaches another rock on a large formation. Now she can jump from rock to rock until she gets to the sand to find Trish's body. Mattie closes her friend's eyes and buries her body. Afterward Mattie remembers that Trish's phone is waterproof and it's inside the jet ski. She walks on the rocks until she finds the spot where the jet ski sank and gets in the water. She swims as fast as possible to reach the vehicle and gets Trish's bag before resurfacing. In the bag she finds her cello pin and the phone, but when she tries to make a call the phone runs out of battery. Suddenly she's startled by something behind her, but it's a life jacket that slipped out of the jet ski. At that moment Sito returns, so Mattie dives in again and searches the bottom of the sea for anything useful, but there's nothing. When Sito comes for her, she hides behind the jet ski and avoids being seen. Once Sito is gone, Mattie finds her cello pin, however she can't move because her necklace has gotten stuck on a rock. After some struggle the chain breaks and Mattie grabs the pin, so when Sito comes close enough, she stabs her. The orca wails in pain and swims away. Now Mattie can safely swim to the surface and hold on to the life jacket to stay afloat all night. Early in the morning, a helicopter finally arrives to rescue her. Sometime later, Mattie is playing the cello again at a concert. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this.